We've now been joined by Martin Truex Jr., driver of the number 78 5-Hour Energy Extra Strength Toyota. And Martin, a busy week for you. A win in Kansas, the catwalk for the cause on Wednesday, and then coming in this weekend to the AllStar Race. So just talk a little bit about your week, finally getting that win in Kansas, and then kind of your outlook for the AllStar Race this weekend.
Yeah, it was definitely a great week. Come off a big win in Kansas that we've been kind of chasing for quite a few years, and then Wednesday night we had an amazing charity event for our foundation. It went really well. It was a great night, raised a lot of money, and everybody had a great time. So all in all, it's been a fun week. Look forward to continuing that success and hopefully having some more exciting moments here in the All-Star Race this weekend.
All right, let's go ahead and open for questions. We'll start with Lee. Go to Hembry, Bob, and Lewis. Sorry, Lewis.
That's okay.
Do it.
Lee Spencer, Motorsport.com. How good is it to be Martin Truex Jr. right now?
Well, it's always been okay, but this week, just the last couple of years in general has been awesome, and this week has been fun so far, and so proud of the catwalk this year and how far it's come in 8 years, and all we've been able to do with that and raising money, and just the interest level and the excitement level around that event each and every year keeps growing. So that's super important. It's such a big part of what we do. But the racing side of it's been incredible. Just kind of have to pinch myself every once in a while just because the things are going so well, and I'm such a lucky person right now, and in such a great situation. So I'm not taking that for granted. I'm enjoying every moment, having fun with the team, and just trying to keep the momentum going, keep working hard, and see what's around the next corner.
All right, go ahead.
Mike Hembry, USA Today. The 600 last year was pretty much you and a bunch of other people driving tricycles or something around the track for a long time. Any reason to believe you shouldn't be the big favorite next week after the dominance last year?
I don't know. I mean, there's so much has changed since then. The downforce package we have, the tires are different. Charlotte typically changes quite a bit, day to day, let alone year to year. So it's definitely still going to be a challenge. This place is tough, and I think with our success on the mile and a halves, even this year, I think we certainly should be one of the guys to beat. I think we feel good coming in about what we're doing and the car we're bringing and all those things. So I think we'll be one of the guys to beat, but so many things you have to do right to win these races. There's no guarantees, and we're certainly putting the pressure on ourselves to make sure we get it all done, and hopefully we'll be able to put ourselves in that position, but there's no guarantees, that's for sure.
All right. I believe Bob, did you have a question? Okay, go ahead.
Bob Packer, ESPN. Are drivers concerned about, it's about 3 back injuries that we've seen recently, last few years. The cars are stuck to the ground. You're riding on the back springs. Is there any sort of concern, and is there anything that can be done?
Well, I don't know that the setups of the car or the springs really are what's playing into that. I think that, I'm sure there's things in the seats and the way the seat belts are in and all those things. Everything's so stiff and it's so rigid now. Not only the setups of the cars, but the seats, the way they're mounted, the foam in them, everything is, the shell of carbon fiber itself. So I think a lot has changed over the years. I'm sure there's things that NASCAR's looking at. I know they took the 43 and they're looking at those things. So I think in certain situations, you look at the G's that, the vertical G's that Eric's car's seen, and it's no wonder that his back was hurt. I don't think it would matter what kind of setup the car had in it, that was going to be the case. So, racing's dangerous. It always has been. It always will be. It's just, trying to eliminate as much of that as you can. And I don't know that, what happened to Eric, what happened to Denny a few years ago is something that you can get out of the race cars, but I'm sure they're looking into it.
All right, Lewis, go ahead.
Louis Frank of Reuters. When NASCAR announced 4 stage points for this race, I thought of last year, and you've answered it's not a lock, but consider leading 392 laps. You might have, if they had the rules last year, you might have been able to retire until the chase.
4 stage wins would be great, or 3 stage wins and a race win would be incredible. So yeah, last year certainly would have been nice to have those stage points in the playoffs when our engine blew up at Talladega. So yeah, I mean, we really haven't forgotten about last year and how it all went down and how important the stage points are. It's going to be big. So I mean, we're going after all of them we can get, and hopefully we'll get a bunch this weekend or next weekend.
All right, Jenna?
Jennifer, AP Martin, what do you think about the optional tire for this weekend? And have you guys figured out yet when you'll use it?
Well, it's only available, I thought, for the last 10 lap segment. So pay attention, Jenna. Yeah, so there's an option to put them on the last segment. If you put them on, you start in the back. Guys that don't put them on start in the front. So I guess it depends on who does and who doesn't use them. But we all get a set today in practice to see what they'll do. I think that's really what's going to make up your mind. You're going to say, oh, wow, they're so much faster that we're going to have to do this. Or, you know, they only run 3 laps fast and then they're slower. So it's going to be based around, I think, the driver feel, how your car accepts them, and what kind of changes might go along with that. Because you're not going to change your car setup for the first 60 laps, you know, based on just trying to make those soft tires work in 10 laps and kind of sacrifice, you know, the rest of your night. So I don't know, really, honestly, to answer your question. I don't know. We're going to find out today and see what happens, and then I'm sure Saturday night everything will be even different. It's not a direct comparison, I would say. I would imagine that they would probably work better in the sun and the heat today than they would at night. The track's going to be faster. It's going to be have more grip. I think the normal tire that will race the 60 laps on the first 3 segments will be much better tomorrow night than it'll be today. So again, all those things are going to have to be taken into consideration and kind of just be ready to make that decision tomorrow night based on what you know.
All right, Kenny, go ahead.
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com. Martin, before you started your Cup career, what was your perception of the AllStar Race, and what's it like to be a part of that now?
Perception was that it was just a Saturday night shootout for $1 million. I mean, or for a ton of money. And guys that always seemed were willing to just do whatever it took to win. Nobody was worried about finishing second. I still think it has that feel. You know, I finished second here a handful of years ago, and I'm pretty sure everyone forgets that, and I, for the most part, forget all about it until we get here. So it has that feel of it's just, it's all about winning. It's a race for the fans. It's a race for, just to put on a show, kind of a throwback short track race, so to speak, with the stages or the segments and just putting it all out there for the win.
Is there any pressure?
None. No pressure at all. It's just fun. It's a fun weekend, Anytime you take points off the table, it becomes a lot less stressful. And a lot more fun, but at the same time, we all want to win it. So it's going to be a fun weekend.
All right, go ahead.
Jacob Seelman, Performance Motorsports Network. Martin, when you look back on last year in the 600 and the performance that you guys put on, I know as drivers you always try to replicate nights like that, but when you reflect on it, is that one of those moments that you kind of put in the category of once in a career, once in a lifetime type of a race where just absolutely everything falls your way?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, it's amazing to look at the numbers and see actually what we did there. And honestly, it's more than that. It's more of a once in the history of a sport. I mean, it's incredible just to look at the numbers. Again, so many great drivers, so many dominant races throughout the history of NASCAR, throughout the history of the Cup Series, and to be able in this day and age with how the competition level to be able to lead that many miles, that many laps is something that's going to be tough to replicate. So hopefully we can do it. It'd be a great time, but it's going to be tough for sure, especially with stages and all that. So it's going to be interesting.
All right, go ahead.
Caleb Whistler, Speedway Drivers. Martin, with the addition of Eric Jones this season, how has he translated information to you, and how have you translated information to him, and how big of an asset has he been to Furniture Row this season?
Well, I think it's gone well, going to 2 cars for our team, being that it's, the first time. It's, Furniture Row's always been a single car effort, so there was a lot of work in the off season, even towards the end of last year, that they started preparing for, and I think everybody's done a great job with that. Information flow, I think the teams are working well together, really no different than teams I've been involved with, in the past. We share information. They build the cars the same. They build them together. Kind of, you know, both cars are built in the same shop by the same guys. So all that stuff's going really well. You know, Eric has had good speed at times this year. They've been a little bit inconsistent, but that's to be expected with a rookie team and rookie drivers. So I think they've done a good job, and you know, feel like they've had some missed opportunities to have some good finishes. So hopefully they can clean that up. But it's been fun. They've been great teammates so far, and I expect it'll get better as we go.
All right. Any final questions for Martin? All right. Thanks for joining us. Best of luck this
Yeah,
weekend.
thank you.